Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And again, I can't even say it again because I was saying we didn't see you since last year, but I just forgot to hit the stream button. So those are, it doesn't seem as fresh because we already recorded it and I didn't realize we weren't live. So here we go.
I've been running scams on the street since I was 10. I've been running scams on the street since I was 10.
Hey, Mike, what do you see? A falcon that inflates for free. Hey, Ken, what's the drill? Blue milk sipping gives me a thrill. The inflatable falcon takes the flight. George Lucas dreams in the starry night. Costume shop, we're dressed to play. Let's blast off into the fray. Left, we're marching through. Cosplay helmets and a saber or two. Hey, Mike, what's the plan? To nerd out harder than anyone can. The inflatable falcon takes the flight. George Lucas dreams in the starry night. Costume shop, we're dressed to play. Let's blast off into the fray. So grab your gear and join the crew. Mike and Ken got a show for you. Laughs and stars and a galaxy far. The Falcon's ready, let's raise the bar. Hey! Hey, Mike, what do you see? A falcon that inflates for free. Hey, Ken, what's the drill? Blue milk sipping gives me a thrill. The inflatable falcon takes the flight. George Lucas dreams in the starry night. Costume shop, we're dressed to play. Let's blast off into the fray. Left, we're marching through. Cosplay helmets and a saber or two. Hey, Mike, what's the plan? To nerd out harder than anyone can. The inflatable falcon takes the flight. George Lucas dreams in the starry night. Costume shop, we're dressed to play. Let's blast off into the fray. So grab your gear and join the crew. Mike and Ken got a show for you. Laughs and stars and a galaxy.
Well, Ken, I think I remember I made that for Todd. Remember, because he was saying that he missed the solo part. So I think I stuck that in there too, didn't I? Isn't that the one I did?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. It seems like last year.
I know it's been ages
Since we've been. So I don't know what I did. So there's probably like 50 little 1-second clips of us, but I think we got it. I think we're showing up where we should show up. Who knows, right?
Well, if not, we're still here.
Right.
Wherever here is.
Yeah, so I thought our theme would be, because it is the first day of the new year, our Star Wars wish list for the year. And it could be anything related to Star Wars. But before we get to that, where can people find you, Ken?
Well, you can find me as Ken Bishop on Facebook and KennyG1134 on Instagram. I've got a couple shows that I'm a part of outside of the Inflatable Falcon with you on Wednesday nights. I bounty hunt across the galaxy with Todd. I also sometimes will sit down around the Dejeric table with the guys from the Bantha Milk podcast, Robert, David, and Tom. And every so often, I put together an episode called The Rambling Star Wars Fan. Unfortunately, I didn't get one done to December, but if things go correctly, I'll have one in January.
I thought I was thinking you were going to get us one for the end of the year.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was trying to do too many things and failed at all of them. So I'm going to cobble together what I have and put it out probably within the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at doing that too. So I completely understand. Yeah, so that's cool. Yeah, you are you going to add any more podcasts to your resume this year?
Possibly.
Oh, I just opened that as just
Yeah. Hard to say. I might see what kind of magic happens.
That's cool. Yeah, well, you can find me here on Wednesdays, but this is Thursday. Honestly, as a teacher, it meant it was a really, really good holiday when I didn't even realize it was Wednesday yesterday. Like I knew it was New Year's Eve, but I was like, I didn't know what time it was. I didn't, so yeah. And Zoe's Star Wars Geek Girl, they have not done one in December. December was just super busy for them. So hopefully they will get back on track for New Year's and get some more podcasts. And I am helping some fellow 501st members who are going to relaunch the 501st cast. 500. The hardest part of doing that is I always want to say Karita cast. So that's the hardest part, is to retype and re-say everything I misspeak about. But we put our first episode is up on Restream. It'll slowly be on all the other podcatchers. We're untangling when someone lets a podcast not be alive anymore. The untangling of it is probably harder than just doing a brand new podcast from scratch, right? So,
and so it's, when you say it's out there, it's just on Restream, or
it is on Spotify.
Okay,
it's on Amazon Music, and it is on iTunes. But you might, if you're not careful, you'll get the old one, because we're trying to get the old one turned off. But again, it's just, but it is up there. It's just, I think I put the link. If you follow me on Facebook, you can find it. But I would just go to Spotify. Spotify seems to be the pod. Spotify is the iTunes of 5 years ago, I think, is the.
And is it 501st cast or the
501st? Ours is 501st cast.
Okay.
And the new one it's the logo, but it has a little pink around the edge. I did that only because, and I took the website off. The old the old logo had the website for it, which is a different website than we use right at the moment. So I just made a logo without the website, so as not to confuse people. But they can listen to it. Our first episode's up. I did put some of the back episodes up. We're going to. They do have a library of like 130 some episodes. Most of them, I think, are lost, just because I think when someone was cleaning space, they hosted it. Back in the day, I think they hosted it on their site and then fed it out that way instead of hosting it on a podcatcher. And I think when they needed space, that was, that's the dust that got pushed out.
Gotcha.
But we have about 15 episodes, and we have some good interviews and stuff that are saved. So we're going to try to incorporate them into like some of the podcasts do, like Saturday classics or something like that. So we'll try to incorporate some of that. But a lot of the 501st cast, other than the interviews, is very time sensitive. Like, I don't know if you really care about a walkathon from 2017,
unless you walked it.
Well, maybe. But yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's a different podcast than what you and I do, at least for this podcast, because it is slightly more scripted than I'm used to. So that is.
Yeah, to listen to that episode tomorrow on my way to work.
Yeah. You have to give me some feedback. It was four of us that didn't really know each other, and we I kind of wrangled them together, and they were all good. All we have so if I just go by costumes, we have it's like a TK, a biker scout, Vader, and a Royal Guard, and I don't know what Mikey is. I don't know what his costume is, but at least the ones that were recording that day, we were down a man. But recording that day, it was Darth Vader, Stormtrooper, Biker Scout, and a Royal Guard. So that
Very cool.
sounds like the start of a really funny joke, I think. So
They walked into the cantina.
yeah, they walked into the cantina and scene. You know. Yeah, so that was our beginning of the 501st cast. So I would appreciate if everyone wants to check it out. Monthly, we're gonna take Ken's advice and do the 501st cast on the 5th. So this one was supposed to come out June 5th, but because there is some time sensitive stuff for an auction to raise money to help children, there is some information on that we released it early.
June 5th or January 5th?
January 5th, sorry.
I'm like, geez Louise.
Yeah, we're really early. We no, I'm sorry, January 5th. We're going to release them all on the 5th of the month. So, and then that leads me into, before we start our whole thing, we have Star Wars Podcast Day. And I thought I had a graphic pulled up, but I guess I did not. We are part of Star Wars Podcast Day, which, why not? If you don't know what Star Wars Podcast Day is, whoops, I just pulled up. Listen to the. If you don't know what Star Wars Podcast Day is, it commemorates the first Star Wars podcast ever. That was February 7th. I forget what year. 1999. The first Star Wars podcast ever. So I thought I had the picture. We'll have to put the picture up next. Oh, here we go. Whoops, maybe not. No, that's from 2025. I thought I had the new one, but I don't have the new picture. But it is 2026, February 7th. It's around the February 27th. Are you doing one for Star Wars Podcast Day, Ken?
I reached out to him. I haven't heard back from him yet.
Yeah, I would. He might have put your name on the list. I just haven't. Oh, here we go. Podcast. Here it is. This is what I wanted. Let's see if I can share this. Ready? Share the screen. Make sure I don't want to share the wrong page. Let me close that one. Okay. Share that. Is it? Am I sharing it? Oh, there it is.
February 7th.
February 7th. And it says approximately 100 shows take part every year. So right now they have 25 shows on there. There's also directions on how to submit your show. So if you have not, if you have a show, small or large, as long as it's a Star Wars podcast, reach out. Let me see if he has a. Yeah, there's a whole step by step on there. So I would recommend. That for anyone.
Nice.
So that's my Star Wars Podcast Day commercial, which that's another thing. That would be an awesome commercial to put in our podcast. All right, Ken, have you worked on any costume stuff?
No. Just trying to make it through the last batch of holiday festivities.
Okay. Yeah, my costuming, the weather, I don't know how the weather is in Jersey, but the weather here has been like super cold and then super windy. So there's no, I tried putting heat on in the garage because I was working on my Dejeric table seating, and the heater. I think I might as well just let money on fire because it did not add any warmth to the garage whatsoever. So that's all I did. I worked on some Dejeric seating a little bit, and I found in my prototype build that I'm going to have to make a different kind of prototype because it won't fit through the door.
Huh.
So I think I'm going to have to make the lower seating part one piece and the back a separate piece, and then bolt them together downstairs.
Okay.
I just can't figure out how to get it through the door. I mean, I could probably get it through the door the way it is, but I'd bang it up so much and my door so much that it's not worth the effort. So that's my working on Star Wars stuff. I think that's all I did. I think that's all I really did. So, all right, Keno, we only have one person on, man. It's probably because I messed up the intro so much.
No, I think it's because we're, for those of you that are out there, this is our unusual day.
That's true. This is a Thursday, so it is an odd day. But we'll figure it out. So Ken, what is your, let's say 5? Let's go with 5, 6, because that's one every 2 months. Give me your 6th, not necessarily in order, but your 6th. Your one of your wishes, but not the most important one for Star Wars this year. Anything Star Wars related, personal or.
I would love to get a making of The Force Awakens. I mean, we've had and when I say the making of, I'm talking, along the lines of the J.W. Rinsler making of books,
Okay.
where they look at the entire production of the films, the efforts that went in to the pre-production, the concept art, and all of those kind of things, all the way through, red carpet kind of things, and just looking at all of those details that went into The Force Awakens, considering, it's now over 10 years old.
That is a good wish.
And it'd be the first Disney era book like that. Because
So
all
they-
the other ones so far have been, the George Lucas era of things.
Now, yeah, do you think that's just because that's just not a priority as much as it was for George?
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know if it's like the making of Star Wars came out many, many years after it
Right.
was after Star Wars.
How
So
many years?
maybe they're leaving more space in between the release of the movie and the production of a book like this.
Yeah. Well, and it also maybe we've all expect stuff faster now.
Well, definitely that's the case, because in some instances they've given us things faster in
Right,
the
that's-
past.
that-
So, for instance, the art of books, so they used to do the movie, and then shortly afterwards there'd be the art of, and then the visual dictionary related to them. They still don't have the art of book for the Acolyte or the Book of Boba Fett, but they have some for, let's say, a couple seasons of The Mandalorian.
That's a good 6th wish. I would say my 6th wish is to troop twice as much as I did this past year. So I trooped twice, so I'd like to troop 4 times this year. That's
Nice.
my goal. That's my that's my hope. That's my hope for me for that. But I think your art book that's probably up there too. I just think for some of those movies, because I rewatched parts of Force Awakens the other day, and I forgot, Pete. You know what I mean? I haven't watched the whole thing in a while, so I was on Disney Plus, and I just started it before I was doing something. I was like, I forgot a whole bunch of that beginning of that movie, So,
And there's so much good stuff in it.
oh yeah, Maz's castle. The flags. I still have to pause it on the flags, and some of those droids. You forget some of those cool droids, like that were at the castle.
Well, and how about all the creatures that were in the castle? They're very similar to the cantina, very similar to Jabba's sail barge or Jabba's palace. It's just wall to wall creatures. You got a band playing music over in the corner that would just so happened to be music that had been written by Lin-Manuel Noriega, not Manuel Noriega, Miranda.
I was going to say that'd be some weird music.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Okay. So got another wish for the.
So mine is
upcoming year?
similar to your trooping wish, and that it's to get to six events, either in costume or as a handler. And I don't mean just
Okay.
going to them as a citizen or as a tourist, to visit stuff, but to actually
Be involved.
be there supporting one of the costume groups. I was actually thinking about handling for maybe some of the 501st and the Northeast Remnant,
Yeah.
just to see if I could start building some relationship with the members of that group.
Well, the one co-host of 500 First Cast is Nitro, the CO of the Northeast Remnant.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, and the Vader that's our Anthony, our Vader on that show is from Northeast Remnant as well. You need
Oh.
to go handle for Vader so you'll know what to do for me. Well, I think maybe mine can combine with yours. I can steal a little bit from yours. I'm hoping that part of the reason why I decided to really push for bring the 500 First Cast back is at the Legion level, they're really wanting to get people more engaged because you have the naysayers and doom and gloomers and stuff like that. And so people are just trying to do stuff to get people engaged. And I was thinking, I remember listening to the 500 First Cast when I was driving out to Steel City or going to anytime there was an episode on and I was going to an event. That was like my ritual of listening to that just to get me in the 500 First spirit. And I thought, well, that's the little thing I can do as a trooper to try to help maybe get people engaged. And I think when you say being a handler, I feel part of the engagement problem is we don't have enough handlers that know how to, not knocking the people that handle. I'm not, but I think sometimes you're a better handler once you've been in costume before. If that makes any sense.
Yes. And I'd even go one step further, considering what we do, and thinking of handling from the perspective of but what are the opportunities for us to get pictures of and or video of folks in costume that we can then use in other things?
Correct.
I've seen some handlers that were they are almost like the you ever gone to a wedding where the bride has a really long train?
Yeah,
they're just there to make sure that this person in costume is, the rose petals are out, and so they're I don't know. It's a weird thing to witness, and
Yeah.
if you saw it, I want to see more photographs and videos taken that can then be either used in the 501st Cast or used on various social media things, or even to be able to go back to that person, that Vader or that trooper, whoever, say, hey, I got these 6 pictures of you. Here you go.
Well, right. Well, that's the other thing is I think with some of the engagement part is I feel sometimes like there is not enough pictures because you can't get enough pictures because we don't have enough handlers. Because you're in a costume, you can't take pictures, and that's like I feel like we have so much at our fingertips. We have phones at our fingertips and everything, and I see less pictures of troops than I did 15 years ago.
Yeah.
15 years ago, you'd have to sort through like 50 pictures if you went to a troop. Now, if you have 6, you're like, oh, okay, so. Yeah, that's why I was going to piggyback off of yours, just to see. Just seeing if yeah. So that's mine. Now, so do we got you? I piggybacked off of yours. What's your third one?
So it's related to that, and that is using those images that I get at those events and using those video clips at those events, cobble them together into something, at least 1 or 2 things this year, whether it's a short video of all these events, or even some sketches or skits that can be performed at these things. Because let's think about this. You mentioned Vader as an example. How many of these events do we go to where the vendors are selling things that have Vader's likeness on them? So how about we get Vader looking at Vader, or Vader holding Vader, or Vader interacting with a toddler who's dressed like Vader?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So to be more explicit with these things, and not just capturing the random picture of Vader standing next to the garbage can, that I've seen in some people take just because it's Vader.
Well, and I sometimes think just a handler is helping with pictures, getting more pictures. Yeah, I'm with you on that. And making something of it, and make it, like you said, and and that's where it comes down to. We need someone that just wants to produce it. Because we have thousands. When I was a kid, you took like 12 pictures a year that was on your little 110 camera, and every whenever you went and got them developed. But now I have more pictures on my phone than probably my generations had in their entire lifetime.
I probably have more pictures of food on my phone than like you said from those 110 cameras or whatever. And to get beyond the static pictures of 7 costume people all in a line, to have more posed pictures, more dynamic pictures, more engaging pictures.
Yeah.
And that's also, as goofy as it sounds, it's also one of the things that I'm working on personally, is to get better with these things, get better with whether it's video editing software, get better with taking pictures, getting better with thinking things through from a visual perspective and not just a storytelling perspective or the conversation interview perspective.
Yeah. Well, my third one is based on nothing you said right now, kind of, but it's something you've been saying forever. Was I want to do more stuff in my costume, just stuff like you said, if you've always said. And so my plan was over break. Tomorrow's first Friday in Lancaster. I was going to wear my TK downtown, but I can't with 20 degrees and 15 to 30 mile an hour winds. I was like, yeah, I'm not that young anymore. I don't need to be shivering for the rest of the weekend. But my plan, I'd like to either do that more, at least one thing with that. I did pretty good last year not adding any costumes. I didn't do very well with getting stuff done. The Vader is on the precipice. I just need a warm day for Vader. I need a day that because I went out and looked at the stuff today and it was just too cold. I was like, I just can't. I can't be painting metallic paint in 30-degree weather. Cool. All right, we're down to the top 3. Give me another one, Ken, that you're
Well, it's probably right up there with the idea of doing more in the costume. All the effort and energy that I have in these partial projects, like I want to get at least 2 of them to completion in 2026. Whether it's one of my custom Mandos or finding someone who can help me hem the bottom part of my Krennic cape so that it doesn't drag on the ground. Whatever it is, I want to get at least 2 of these costumes on my list done in 2026.
Yeah. I need to get. I'm with you on that one. I should say my Star Wars thing is to learn how to sew. Is what I every time I go by Michael's, I was like, they have sewing classes in that little room. I wonder how much it is. Because I just picture myself, it can't be that hard to sew a straight line. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I mine is still with finished projects. Just get things either done or away. That's I think my motto for 2026. Either it's done or it's away. Because if I haven't, done it. So we got 2 more, Ken. You got any more wishes for 2020? You can give me 2 if you want.
Well, I think one of them would be to take that leap related to the rambling Star Wars fan and start reaching out to some of the makers and say, hey, would you be willing to participate in a 20 to 30 minute interview for the show? And it can be from a comic book author to an artist who does fan art, all the way up to Kristen Baver and Dave Filoni.
Yeah,
seeing if any of them would be willing to do a brief interview, just so I can get out of the funk of just making ideas for episodes and turn them into something a little bit bigger.
Yeah, mine would be, so since you said one related to the podcast and everything, mine would definitely be that we need to do at least one panel. That would be a goal. Minimum of one panel. We have Fan Expo coming up. I hope we get a panel. We didn't get one last year, did we?
No.
So hopefully they'll forget that I badgered them all those previous years, and we could get I like to do at least one or two panels. With oh man, we have chat. Look, we're so bad with here. Oh, there we go. There's our sewing. There's our sewing right there. Well, look, there you go. Look, there's your cape. There's your cape. There's Krennic cape right there. Krennic cape and 40K. So I was thinking of table ready today because my mission today was we were trying to find a table for D&D downstairs that would fold up nice and neat, and I found one. So that was my Facebook Marketplace / hour and 45-minute drive this afternoon to get this specific table that I wanted to put in my basement, not just a regular folding table. So
does it have like drawers for dice and stuff like that?
No, I just wanted this one's one of those like craft tables. It folds up, but it stands, and then you fold the sides out. So it just looks nice sitting there, and then it's mainly for Sapien or friends to play. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So, all right, Ken, each of our number ones wish for Star Wars wish for this year, and then we just got to talk about all kinds of other stuff.
I wish for more surprises in Star Wars. I know the last few years there have been things talked about that didn't come to creation. So, for instance, the trilogy from the next trilogy from Rian Johnson, or the Taika Waititi movie, or even some of the video games that were announced and nothing came from. This year, 2026, and this is a big wish. So, Dave, I know you're listening. To have some more of those, just they worked on this, they put all the effort in, and here you go, it's out there. Like for instance, they recently released and I think we talked about it the last episode. There was a video game commercial for this new speeder racing game.
Oh yeah.
And I don't remember hearing about that anywhere. And then all of a sudden a trailer came out. So I'm hoping that in 2026 there's at least one of those kind of surprises where they got past this idea of we have to announce everything ahead of time and just make it and then release it and then see what happens with it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Now, so here's my question for you. If they did I don't think you could do this, but let's say when you open up Disney Plus and you had a little button and it was a Star Wars blind pack and you clicked on it and it randomly give you a Star Wars show, but it would be different for you, and but you had to watch it before you got your next one. Would you want that?
I'm really scared with that idea, and let me tell you why. So one of the things I have been noodling around in my head with for 2026 and episodes of the Rambling Star Wars Fan is I was going to list out all the Star Wars things, whether talk about the original trilogy, Clone Wars, Rebels. So list them out and give them a number, and then randomly pick a number. And then I was going to list the episodes and randomly pick an episode or season in an episode.
I'm really worried that you and I think way too much alike.
And then I was going to do an episode, a rambling random episode on that. So that's the long answer to yes.
Okay.
Give me the button. I'll watch it tonight.
Well, because I was at the Disney outlet, and they had whatever those little plastic figures are, the little like smiley looking ones. I forget what they're called. They're like little collectible ones. And I wanted to buy them, but I am past the blind pack of buying stuff. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like I don't want a third whoever I want, I will pay 3 times as much just to get the guy I want. So I passed on the blind pack. So yeah, I think my number one wish is I think my number one hope and wish for Star Wars is that people start uniting about what they like. That line from, is it Finn? No, from Rose.
No, that's from Rose.
From Rose. I listen. I have tons of people that like all the Star Wars I like, and tons of people that don't. I just don't want to know someone for what they dislike. Is what is the easiest way of saying it. Like, if you don't like the new stuff, then don't tell me that. Just tell me the stuff you like, because I like it all. So if you like anything in Star Wars, I'm probably going to like it. Other than I'm not a big fan of Mara Jade. No, I'm just kidding. Well, and I never played. What was the game?
Star Wars Galaxies.
No, I never got to play that either because I had a Mac and they didn't put it on Mac server. But I never got to play Knights of the Old Republic. I never played that.
I think that might even be available on like Nintendo Switch or something.
Yeah, I think it's on. But it just was like, it just was at a point in my life where I just didn't have time to play video games. Like, yeah, there's certain. I've rediscovered my love of video games thanks to you and Zoe and Fortnite. I just want people to come together. I want to see more people come together and just celebrate what they love, troop what they love, or troop what they don't want love. Just troop whatever costume you have. Me and Ken
I think it'll be, going back to what you're talking about related to the 501st and engagement.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that it's the idea behind armor parties where you get together and you work on stuff. One of the things I've noticed about some armor parties is, yes, people come together at one place, but you've got this one person over in this corner working on this thing, and these two people over in that corner working on that thing, and this one person who's standing here with their stuff, not really sure. They need help. They don't know how to ask. They don't know who to ask. So they stand there looking lost. I would love to figure out a way where we got folks together for a shared build of some sort, whether it's a prop vehicle. Like, how cool would it be to build a drivable speeder of some sort? Or a really cool backdrop that can be easily broken down and transported, but it's something that we all work on, and not just one person in his basement who just when it does come out on display brags about, don't touch it.
You say that, and that's where one of those things, I wonder if it goes back to that old story of Stone Soup or whatever. Like, if you made a big background but everyone owned a piece, like everyone took a piece home with them, so it doesn't come together until you all show up at the same thing.
Yeah, something. And if it was a backdrop, make it more than just a backdrop, but an actual set, for lack of better words. So this set of things belongs to Mike. This is what Mike contributed to this Stone Soup, and Todd brought this, and Ken helped with that, and to have that shared partnership, that shared participation, but it's shared focus, and not just me working on my armor in this corner or you working on your armor in that corner, but all of us. And I'm not saying every armor party, but to pick one or two armor parties over the course of the year and say, we're going to work on this for this armor party. We're all coming together, and that's what we're going to do.
Yeah,
because we want to unveil it, or we want to have it at this event.
Yeah,
and
we got to get you in the Legion, Ken. What cost is that? Is Krennic going to get you in the Legion? Is that your plan?
Well, Krennic could get me into the Legion. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to work on Krennic. Yes. Yeah. So Krennic could get me in the Legion, followed up by, it's not on my list that I'm currently working on, but it's my dream list. It's the only Stormtrooper costume I probably would ever wear on purpose, and that's the Enoch costume from the Ahsoka show.
Yeah, that would be a good one. That's cool. Yeah, well, there's our list. But now we have to talk about trooping and building and all that kind of stuff. And I did. Let me hang on a sec. one of my million projects that is just eating away. For 2026, I'm trying to like organize my collections. So I went through and organized all my badges from all the different celebrations, and then I ordered all my crap that we still have laying around. But then I went and did my patches.
That's very cool.
So I started organizing. Whoops, I just dropped the patch. But I started organizing all my patches and stickers because one of the things, and this probably goes back to engagement. I think I'm going to make myself a patch jacket or a vest. I don't know. Which way do you lie on the patch and
Well,
vest or jacket?
it comes down to real estate. You know, are you going to be the jacket wearer like a NASCAR where you've got patches up and down the sleeves, or do you want to have just like the big insignia patch on the back with the rocker bars or whatever they're called above and below?
Well, that's what I keep thinking, but I was thinking like if I got a nice jacket, I can put all kinds of like I have Star Wars Geek Girl. I could do one sleeve of just podcasts. Like I have hundreds of stuff that I could do,
So you might need coveralls.
Yeah. Or, well, I was thinking, could I do a trench coat? Would that be acceptable?
Oh, definitely be
Do the 80s Western trench coat duster.
Well, yeah, if in that case, do a sleeveless duster because the length of the duster would make up for the lost
sleeves.
space on your sleeves.
Well, then I also decided like what kind of jacket do I want to do or vest, because I was like, do I want to do like my dream jacket, which I would hate to spend money on and throw patches on it, would be like the X-wing pilots or from Rogue Squad or from Rogue One,
Okay.
like one of the green or blue ones with the stripes down the arm and then put patches all over that. That would be the dream. I was thinking if I did a dream jacket like that, and then I could do a vest that matched it, so I could even have double,
Yeah, but then the vest would cover up some of the patches.
Right, but then you could still someone could see you with just a jacket on, and you could throw the vest on and just be even, But I also know that I am not going to spend hundreds of dollars on a jacket and then sew patches all over. So I haven't decided if I want to do like a flight jacket, a NASCAR-ish type jacket, or just like an old work, like almost not a denim jacket, but similar like that, like Carhartt heavy material jacket that you could, I don't know. That's my thoughts.
So the Carhartt denim would probably be sturdier with all the stitching and sewing that you would end up doing with the patches.
Right. Well, that's the. And I don't know. I used to have a giant 501st patch for my back, but I don't know if I still have that. I think I might have traded that for someone. But I do have some patches I would like to display, like just, And I have stickers. I did the same thing. I have a whole binder of all the Star Wars stickers that I picked up over the years. I mean, it's probably over 100 from different garrisons and this and that. And so I'm going to probably do my tote up too.
So if I was going to take this wish idea and go even a few more steps further, speaking of stickers, I would like to figure out how to design something either for our show or our shows, plural, that can then be handed out at these events that we go to.
Yeah, I agree.
And stickers are one of those things that from what I've understood, they're inexpensive.
Yes.
And fans like receiving them.
Yes.
So
yeah, patches and stickers I really like. Stickers probably more so, but patches, I have some good. I have a good dad badge. I had 2 dad badge patches somehow, and so yeah, I would like. Yeah, we should definitely talk about it. Did you see the thing I made? I made a logo for us. Did you see the logo I made? It looked like Magic Jump, but it said Inflatable Falcon.
Yeah, actually, I thought it looked like Wonder Bread.
Well, it did have a Wonder Bread quality, but I was looking at the Magic Jump logo when I was making it, because I was like, that would be a good patch, or a sticker. Then but yeah, patches and stickers definitely want that. Let me make sure I'm not missing. I don't know why I have the chat. Here we go. I don't know what I don't know why. Oh, there we go. I had the wrong switch turned. I'm an amateur all of a sudden. Here we go. Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, I thought about doing the Velcro patches. I have a few that actually people gave me the Velcro patch to show on. But
here's my only concern about the Velcro patches, and this is because of my low thinking of most people, is Velcro patches can easily be removed and would probably be easily removed.
Well, my Velcro patch thing would be I would have to do twice the amount of sewing, because I would have to sew the Velcro onto the back of the patch.
No, you could probably glue the Velcro onto the back of the patch. You
Yeah,
wouldn't want to.
maybe.
You wouldn't want to glue the Velcro onto the vest though, or the jacket.
Yeah.
Because if you ever decide to wash it or whatever, the glue would come off in the wash.
Like when the girls were little, I bought black Army BTU shirts and then razored off the sleeves, and then they put all their patches on because they had tons of patches. But for me, I mean, patch wise, I could probably do a tastefully covered shirt with some, like I said, I have a good, like I have Zoe's patch, which I, as like an idiot, I didn't save that many. So I only have 2 left of her patch, but I have like one of my favorite patches is the Showdown at the Cantina for the 501st. It's what's his face's arm. We got that when we did the bash, I think in Orlando, but then we also got him, so you can put the patches side by side.
Oh, nice.
So that's some of my favorite ones. And then I have like Star Wars Reads Day is one. I just have some events. And then I did Aaron Scare did a really cool patch one year that I went to. Those patches I have to buy bigger sleeves for those because I wish they just sold giant sleeves for patches. Coins, they actually sell pages for coins now, so I have to go.
Well, those have existed for a long time for collectors and stuff like that.
Yes, so I got to put my coins in. Again, I'm trying to go through and make sure. So if you come to visit me, Ken, you can say, "Hey, Mike, I'd like to look at your patches," and I can say, "Here's my book of patches. You can look at them, Ken." So
that'd be very nice of you, and I'd make sure I say please.
Yes, I want all my stuff so people can come see it. I don't know if I'll have an armor party this year. That I should have put that on my list. I would like to have an armor party, but when I say armor party, it's probably gonna be one of his bad armor parties, Ken, because my armor party, we just sit around and talk and don't get much built. But we can still continue on our Tuscans. I'm sure most of us still, other than Marcus, I think none of us got our masks done.
No, I got it mostly done, but not completely done.
But I still think the Tuscan is a good build for an armor party, because in theory, if we organized it better, we could probably get a bunch done in one day.
Yeah, if that's where our attention went, yes.
Yeah. Not slushies, popcorn, and soft pretzels.
Well, those were fine because you need sustenance to get through it, but we definitely spent time bouncing around doing other stuff.
I also think we were all just coming off of COVID too. We were just like, we haven't seen people in a while.
Yeah.
So, but we did mention, which I'm sure both of us want. We both want to see the Han Solo Chronicles. So that would be another one I would put on my list. And I'd like us to keep going and keep our episodes up. I mean, I felt bad missing last week. Christmas just kind of threw me too. I probably could have done it Christmas Eve. I just again, not knowing. We got a snow day right before Christmas, and that kind of threw all my, everything I did. I was a day behind because we had a snow day. The first day of Christmas break was a snow day. So everything I was planning on doing that day, I did that day. And so I'm like a day off. So, but yeah, we should definitely look at stickers. That would be a definite thing to do.
Well, and especially considering, okay, we've got this show, we've got Rambling Star Wars Fan, Star Wars Geek Girl, Bouncing Hunting Across the Galaxy with Todd and Ken. So that's at least 4. And back to that patch set that you showed.
Yeah.
We could design the stickers in such a way to encourage people to collect this set, so that the 4 of them, when combined, form Mega Sticker or whatever.
Well, that's what I was, because there was, like, I know the droid, or no, the is it the collectors, Pennsylvania Star Wars toy collectors or something? They have like a patch set that does like a whole giant display.
Well, they've done patches. They've also done challenge coins in the past.
Challenge coins can get pricey when you do a run of those suckers.
Oh goodness, yeah, and they typically do those, and they sell them, and some of the proceeds of the sale of those go towards some sort of a charity of some sort. But or even the idea of in the olden days of trading cards, you'd get 4 trading cards, and on the front it'd be the individual thing, but when you turn them over, it formed like a big postcard or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's like the backs of all the, I think it was Denny's cards. I went to Voltron stickers now. The Denny's solo cards that you got with every Denny's meal, I think they went together to do a 9 picture on the back of the Millennium Falcon, if I remember correctly.
And unfortunately, I never got all of them. I'm still missing Therm Scissor Punch.
Hang on a sec.
For those of you that are still with us, I'm hoping he's coming back with a Therm Scissor Punch.
All right, Ken, let's check, because before I organized my patches, I had a whole tub of cards. So let's see if I have a Therm Scissor Punch. Let's open up to. I'm such a nerd. I even saved the 20% off Denny's meal cards. Let's see. Therm Scissors Punch. I have at least one.
Nice.
So that means I might have another one somewhere. But yeah, is that
That's the guy.
And then the back makes the TIE Fighter.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. That idea.
Yeah. So yeah, I went through. Now I have. Let's see. Oh yeah, here. I have my Star Wars Insider membership card.
Nice.
From I don't know when, but some kid named Zoe Tano filled it out when she was little. I don't know what Zoe Tano came from, but she snuck in my house and filled out my.
Anthony says he got some patches from Wally Peters.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got tons of patches. They have you ever gone to a coin or trading thing at Star Celebration?
No.
So the 501st has a coin and trading, like it's humongous. Like it's a giant ballroom. Like picture your average small Comic-Con, and it's just guys with like tackle boxes full of coins and patches, and they trade and swap, and
See, I have too many flashbacks from when I was a kid, and this is going to show the level of nerdery. And I apologize for those of you that didn't know that I was a nerd. I used to collect stamps.
Ah, yeah.
Postage stamps.
Yep.
And so in my small hometown, there was a postage stamp club, and it would meet at, I can't remember if it was Town Hall or the one of the local community centers, and it'd be the same kind of thing. People with these folding tables and all of their stamps out there, and you get the first day issue, or you get this special set, like
certain like the edges, like certain are foil, like some are cut and some are not. Yeah.
Yes.
Certain
all of those
postmarks.
things. Yes. All of those things.
I collect stamps too, my man. I have a giant tub of them somewhere. So. But yeah, I know Wally used to have a lot of patches, but I have my Weird Al patches from when I trooped with him, and I have one signed. That one I would not put on my jacket, but I had um yeah, the coins, like I said, the challenge coins are neat, but that's just one of those things. Unless I can display them, I think I'm done with them. And that's what I want to do with the patches. I just, like I have them in books. So like again, if you come and you want to look at them, and then what's cool about it is I have them organized enough. So if someone says I really like that one, I know how many I have. I can say, well, I have 3. I'll trade you for,
And so it's funny that you did that, because this Christmas or this holiday, I bought one of those artist portfolios.
Yeah.
You know, when you usually go to conventions, the people, they put it out on the table. So I bought one of those, and I started putting my Star Wars art in it, because I just don't have enough wall space for it. And I've started, filling those sleeves up with my Star Wars art that I've picked up along the way.
Yeah.
Whether it's stuff from Dexter Weeks or Matt Bush or Hero Fight, or even some of the Star Wars celebrations where they gave out, free posters and stuff like that.
Well, I'm surprised Dexter has not got a Topps card run from somebody yet.
Well, I'm surprised he hasn't taken his art and created like a run of cards out of them.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
'cause
I wonder how that works, because I know some of the artists gets permission. Like I know that when they go to Celebration, they get a certain license to do stuff.
Mhm.
But I wonder, since Lucasfilm sells a license for making cards to Topps or whoever, I wonder if that's what prevents them for that.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's some, but I had 2000, maybe 11. I don't know. I did a droid hunt at Steel City, and so I commissioned. I forget his name, Todd something. He did some of the Topps cards, and he did a Sand Trooper card for me to put in our droid hunt cards, and it was really nice of him. He just did it for me, and I have all the droid hunt cards. I think I probably give you some of them too, maybe.
I think I might have some of them somewhere.
Yeah. And I enjoyed. That's one of those other things that was. If we go back to the engagement part, I know they made all kinds of weird rules for the droid hunt, but the old droid hunt was just fun. It made you, as a trooper, have to interact with people.
Well, and going back to this engagement and the fact that many Star Wars fans are also collectors of some sort. I mean, just look in our backgrounds and you can see just a handful of the things that we collect. How cool would it be for every event that you trooped, there was something that you received for it or from it?
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying something, big and extravagant or whatever, even if it was the same thing each troop, but when you got 5 of them, I don't know, just something a little bit more from a recognition standpoint of like, hey, you trooped this many things this year, way to go, high fives, double high fives. Let's see, 'cause that's another part about engagement. I think there needs to be, in both directions. It can't just be me showing up at this event in my costume, but how can the group also work to encourage me to show up at the event in my costume?
Yeah. It's tough because we all, like for me, what makes an event is the eats after, even if we don't eat, just to hanging out after. And it seems that has gone away a little more than usual.
Well, and I think part of it is that engagement that we're talking about. Some folks who troop, as goofy as this sounds, they don't troop for the others. They troop for themselves. It's a thing that they can check off the list. I showed up. I brought 4 of my costumes, or I showed off all of my things with a do not touch sign, at the table or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's I mean, for me, the engagement part. I mean, I distinctly remember it was, I don't know which troop it was of mine, but it was my first troop with the girls, their first Jawa troop. So it was probably like my 3rd or 4th troop or something like that. The troop was 2 hours long. We sat eating with the guy who did Vader, his wife, and his kids. We sat there for over 4.5 hours.
Yeah, I can envision that.
So,
Or even like the group photograph.
yeah.
For these events, I've been to some events where the group photograph is kind of like an afterthought. We're tearing things down, and people are like, oh crap, we should have taken a picture of everybody in their costume. They were here. And then I've been to other events where the timing of the group photograph was a little weird, where
Yeah.
only some people happened to be at that corner of the booth at the time that they took the group photograph, and other people weren't.
Well, that brings you back to your handlers, where the handlers need to do. Now, the other thing, now this is, I'm trying to get an event at my school on the week after May the 5th, whatever that Friday is. My school pays for a license. They can show Disney films, and Star Wars fall under that. They can't charge people to come see them, but they can show them in public and charge for snacks or something like that. I forget it. They pay some kind of money for that. I think someone donated it to our school. But we're going to do it as a fundraiser for my robotics team. And we're going to try to get the 501st Air. We're going to show New Hope. So we get 501st Air while everyone's coming in. And then while the kids are watching the movie, I think I have Old Line Garrison convinced that they can do a panel on costuming and costuming groups for the adults.
Well, what if you also figured out a way of getting some of the droid builders?
Well, the droid builders are in there too. It's probably 501st and the droid builders. That's the two groups we're getting. But I haven't heard back from the droid builders, so I'm not speaking for them yet. But I know the guys in Maryland will probably do that. But that's my plan. That's my plan for that event, and we'll see. I'm going to see how that might help engage me, because you can be for once. You can be in your costume for a short amount of time, but then the one thing all of us like to do is talk about our costumes. So then you can have people come and look at, the inside of what you're wearing or stuff like that. So we'll see. We're supposed to contact them after the break. So we'll see.
Nice. Very cool.
That's our plan for down in Maryland. Old Line's pretty good when it comes to that kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we got a whole year. Ken. Let's see. How many episodes do you think we can get in this year? 48? 48? This is number 1.
I think 48 is a realistic
thing,
because knowing that there will be the occasional week either during the summer or sickness or whatever.
Okay, so
48.
Let's end on this. We're going to try to get 48 here. I should write this down. Write us a little goal sheet here. So we have Inflatable Falcon. 48. Star Wars Geek Girl. She's not going to like this, but I want them to at least get 20 in. I don't know. We'll see. Karita Cast. I'm going to shoot for 6. 501st Cast. We're going to do at least 12. Probably.
Oh, okay. I was thinking. I did the cast thing.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about 501st Cast.
Okay. So now,
Rambling Star Wars fan.
Put me down for 12. Put you down for 12. How about I don't know if Todd's still here.
Bounty Hunting Across the Galaxy, I say a solid 8.
8.
With one of the other things that Todd and I are trying to work out the details of is a podcast-a-thon where we have something going for a full 24 hours.
Okay. So here's what we all of us, because I've already had this talk with Zoe, all of us should come up with a 10 to 15 minute podcast for Star Wars Podcast Day. Right? Even if we count, even if you and I count the episode we do that week as our Star Wars Podcast Day one, should we try to do like another short one, like a taster? Like, this is, if you like this show, this is what we talk about. Like, should we all try to do a Star Wars Podcast Day, whatever, reflection?
Well, I think that part's already in the works, at least for I know for the rambling Star Wars fan.
Because I wonder, like, I keep thinking, like, if I could do, if you and I could do something. Whoops! I just hit a button and everything went black. Okay, there we go. If we could do a 15-minute show on what's the first, like, how do we get into Star Wars podcasting, and then that would be our Star Wars podcast day.
Now, when you
One
say how did we get into it, are you talking how did we come up with the idea for it? How did, like, or are you talking more of the
How do
the
we start
nuts-
listening to it? Like, what did we start listening to? Why did we decide to make one? You know, what any of that, any and all,
Gotcha, okay.
or some and none. You know, it could be as simple as, you know what, one day I kept hearing about podcasts and I looked up Star Wars and this is what came on. Like, I don't even know if I can remember the actual first podcast. I know at least a couple of them. I know one that I'm not going to mention because it always comes up and it irritates me the crap out of me. but you know, I mean, there's just a lot of things. I mean, we have years of podcasting under our belt.
which is really wild to think about when you say years plural.
Yeah. We have a
And
lot of episodes. Like, we are on, I don't even know what episode we're on.
is this 159?
Oh, I think it's more. Is it
I don't know.
159?
I'm picking numbers out of the air.
All right, hang on.
I'm not good with numbers or words.
Let me see. Spotify for podcasters. See if I have it logged in down here. I've logged out and logged into podcasting so much that I'm forgetting. I don't know. Spotify. Here we go. Podcast. Let's see. Inflatable Falcon. It's probably gonna make me sign in. Oh, here we go. Inflatable Falcon. Maybe. But I mean, I just wonder how many we have between us all.
Todd thinks it's 181.
All right, let's see. Yeah, this is 181.
Todd knows better than we do.
This is 181.
It's one of the reasons why I love Todd so much.
Yeah.
He knows his stuff.
Well, that's what I always say about you, Ken. So I'm even lower on the totem pole.
Yeah, but I don't know what stuff you're talking about.
Yeah, and wait a minute. Why is it in green? Why is one in green? I don't know. Yeah, so we have, I mean, between that, we have, doing this show, we've done guests. You and I have probably been on over 200 podcasts then. Way over. Because you've been on all kinds. I've only been on a few.
If this is 181 of this,
right?
I've definitely been,
because you were on Forces Behind, or
Forces Behind Star Wars, which was Thank the Makers before that. I've been on The Pod Awakens. I've been on Around the Dejeric Table. I've been on War of the Stars. What else? Plus the
Beskar Bucket.
Beskar Bucket. Yeah, I forgot about the Beskar Bucket. I was on an episode of that with John. That's correct. Bounty Hunting Across the Galaxy, with Todd. So we have a handful of those episodes. Easily 200.
Yeah. And don't even get me started on hours. I wish we would have just done our episodes by hours.
Yeah, if we did it by hours, we'd be up to 300 hours easily, because some of our episodes, our first episodes, our early episodes, they were pushing 4 hours. That's 4 episodes.
Right.
Heck, this one's already at an hour and 8 minutes.
Yeah, we're starting the year off bad or good, depending on how you look at it.
Well, starting the year off consistently, because I think one of the beautiful things about this show is that there isn't the hard boundaries at the beginning and end. We can only do an episode if it lasts 30 minutes or less, or 45 minutes or less, or 60 minutes or less. We go to the mood. The Force wills us to stop.
The Force wills us to end. Cool. Well, Ken, I think it's time. We got all our things in. Where can people find you?
Well, here every other Wednesday, or every Wednesday other than this Wednesday. You can find me around the Dejeric Table occasionally with the guys from Bantha Milk Podcast. Sometimes I'm bounty hunting across the galaxy with our buddy Todd. And then every so often in 2026, I'm hoping for at least 12 episodes, one a month. of the rambling Star Wars fan. And when you're not here hanging out with me talking about stuff, where else can the world find you?
Helping Zoe with Star Wars Geek Girl, TikTok and Instagram on Hitting Star Wars Family, and soon monthly on the 501st Cast.
Nice.
And I will say this as my public service announcement for the 501st. If you are interested in building a Star Wars costume, reach out to, if it's an Imperial, reach out to the 501st. They will help you build a costume. And I have said this many, many times before. It is just as expensive to build it wrong as it is to build it right. So, and
you might as well get help doing it.
And yes, and I would say the majority of the 501st people will help you. If you've met someone who doesn't seem as nice as they should be, you probably just met the wrong person. Just like anything else in life, you know. But yeah, so thank you. We will be back hopefully next Wednesday. I'll know what day of the week it is because I'll be back to work.
Yeah, thanks, Anthony. Thanks, Todd. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Anthony, Todd. Everyone hopped in.
On a surprise Thursday.
On a surprise Thursday. That's I'll take the blame for that. And let me find our outro, maybe. And everyone this is our first recording of the year, so let me see. Do I have the outro? No, I'll do I'm gonna do I'll do our good one. All right, later, guys.
I've been running scams on the street since I was 10. I've been running scams on the street since I was 10.
Hey, Mike, what do you see? A falcon that inflates for free. Hey, Ken, what's the drill? Blue milk sipping gives me a thrill. The inflatable falcon takes the flight. George Lucas dreams in the starry night. Costume shop, we're dressed to play. Let's blast off into the fray. Left, we're marching through. Cosplay helmets and a saber or two. Hey, Mike, what's the plan? To nerd out harder than anyone can. The inflatable falcon takes the flight. George Lucas dreams in the starry night. Costume shop, we're dressed to play. Let's blast off into the fray. So grab your gear and join the crew. Mike and Ken got a show for you. Laughs and stars and a galaxy far. The Falcon's ready, let's raise the bar. Hey!